Hey guys, so for today's video, I wanted to do another look with the Natasha Denona Yucca palette. This palette launched last year and I think it's such a pretty and unique color story. I did do 2 videos with this palette, but I feel like there were some more looks that I wanted to create, and I've had a couple people comment recently to use this palette again, so that's exactly what I did today. So if you want to see how I got this eyeshadow look, go ahead and keep on watching. I'm going to start with the shade Fushi on a fluffy packing brush. This shade looks super light, so I'm thinking of using this kind of as my transition shade. So I'm just going to pack that into my crease. Honestly, I'm kind of having a hard time picking up this shade on my brush, but I do like how it's looking a lot more like a yellowy orange. The color is good, but the formula of the shade seems a little bit off. I do think this is my first time using this shade from the palette. This shade is looking a little bit patchy in my crease, but I think as I layer more and more shadows, that patchiness will kind of go away, but I'm not really a huge fan of that shadow. Now I'm going to pick up this shade on the same brush, and this shade does look more like a true matte, so I'm going to kind of pack that in my crease, but a little bit below that first shadow. And this shade is showing up as an orange, but it does have like a hint of brown in it, so it's a pretty wearable orange in my opinion. It's not like a pumpkin-y orange, you know? Okay, so I'm just kind of packing that shade in my outer crease, and I am keeping it kind of lower towards my lid. Do you see how that's already kind of covering up that patchiness of that first yellowy shade? I want to deepen up this gradient on my eyes even more, so I'm going to take Valley. Again, I'm using the same exact brush. I'm going to start this shade right on the outer part of my lid. So I kind of want this gradient to go from the brown to the orangey shade to the yellowy shade. Now I'm going to take a small crease brush in this kind of matte lime green color, and I think I want to go over this yellow that's in my inner crease just because I'm not loving that color, but I really like how this shade has more of like that lime greenness to it, where it's kind of different and fun. I even feel like if you packed this shade over like a white base, it would be so cool. And then I'm just kind of taking whatever is left on my brush and feathering that out in my upper crease, kind of right below my brow, just to help to blend everything out and give me a nice seamless blend. Now whenever I use this palette, I have to use one of these 4 gorgeous shimmers, so I'm going to swatch those out really quick. Alright, for this look, I think I'm leaning towards one of those top 2 shades. I think I want to do this shade, so I'm going to take that on a flat lid brush, and I'm going to place that on that inner blank part of my lid. My finger would probably be best to apply this, but I have nails on, so you know the deal. This is kind of giving me like a softer wash, and this is just stunning. Okay, I am gonna try my finger. I love this shadow so much. I'm gonna go back to that small crease brush and just softly blend around that shimmer, just right here where it meets that matte kind of lime green color. I went ahead and did my under eye concealer off camera. Now let's do the lower lash line. I'm gonna take a pencil brush in this shade Citrine, and I'm gonna run that across my entire lower lash line. I'm going to go back to that brown shade Valley and add that to the outer part of my lower lash line. And then I always like to make sure my lower lash line connects to my upper lid shadow, so I have a nice kind of line like that. Now I'm going to take this deeper brown on a small angled brush, and I'm just going to do a little shadow wing. So I like to start by stamping this on the outer part of my lash line. And then kind of following this eyeshadow line that I made, I'm just going to make a little baby wing. and just lightly connect that back to that line on my lash line. And then I'm just kind of taking whatever is left on my brush on this outer part, kind of right in between my lower lashes, just for a little bit of definition right out here. And then I'm just going to soften that out with my pencil brush so it's not so harsh. Now I'm going to take a highlighter. I'm using Sigma Moonstone, and that's going to go in my inner corner. And a little bit right under my brow. I went ahead and finished up this eye look with some mascara and lashes, and for my lashes, I'm wearing the Bright Lashes Half Lash in Flutter. This is definitely my favorite half lash. I love how it looks on my eyes, but a little sneak peek for you guys, I do have a new half lash coming very soon that's kind of like Flutter, but just a smaller version. So for those of you that find that Flutter is a little bit too long for you, you'll love this new lash coming soon. And here's a final close-up of this eye look. Here is what the full face looks like, and I love how my makeup turned out today. It's kind of warm with those mustardy tones. I just think it's so pretty. So for my blush, I wanted something pretty warm that would kind of match that orangey shade in my crease. So I'm wearing the Milk Cosmetics Cream Blush Light in the shade Sandy Cheeks. I'm so happy I used this one today because this was one of my favorite cream blushes back in like 2021, and I haven't used it in a while, and I thought this was just perfect for this look. This formula is nice and pigmented, and I even applied it over my like lightly set face, and it didn't disrupt the powders at all. And then I was kind of struggling to pick a lip to go with this look, again since my cheeks are so warm. There's some green in my eyes, some orange, so I actually just took some of this blush on my finger and I pat that on my lips, and then I did use my Makeup by Mario lip liner in Smoky Pink just to line them, and that's that. Kind of one of the perks of a cream blush is that you can use it on your cheeks and your lips. I love getting to play with this palette again and kind of revisiting a favorite from last year, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.